is in operation. And what an operator he is in Ian Fleming's Thunderball.
Have you seen everything you came to see? Now go back to your friends and report. Tell them the little fish I throw back into the sea.
Thunderball stars Claudine Auger. Young, beautiful, trapped. Could be dangerous.
What sharp little eyes you've got.
Wait till you get to my teeth.
Adolfo Chen.
And welcome back to Spitball Cinema. I'm Shane.
I'm Scott.
I'm David.
And today it is Thunderball. Thunderball in the ongoing Bond series.
1965.
Ding, 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 ding. 5 years before I was born. Getting closer.
Yeah.
Blows my mind. Blows my mind that series has gone on for so long. And yeah, I got Thunderball. This is another good one, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very solid. I know we keep talking about how James Bond or Sean Connery just gets more and more into character, but to me, this is like one of his better ones also.
It's kind of more of a serious movie than the last one, I think.
Yeah, well, the stakes get up a little higher.
That's
You know, before it's always like thwarting little plots and schemes. You know, Goldfinger was pretty big. You know, you're going after Fort Knox.
Yeah.
But this is the one where Spectre really comes front and center, and you got number two.
Oh, yeah.
You know, with the big scheme to extort the U.S. and Britain.
What's the villain's name again? Like Largo?
Largo.
Yeah.
Very cool,
he's
dude.
key.
That guy was awesome with his eye patch and his accent and his attitude.
Yeah.
He's up there as
He's
probably
straight
one
up
of
Bond villain.
Oh
right
my
there.
gosh, yeah. Awesome actor who did that. But yes.
And his voice was dubbed also.
Are you serious?
God, why do they keep
No,
doing this?
really?
His voice was dubbed.
Oh my gosh.
Domino's voice was dubbed.
Really?
And one of the other girls was dubbed too.
Might have been the
Well, it could have been
the girl that gets killed.
the redhead
Yeah.
that works for Spectre because she's
from-
Italian.
yeah,
she's an
yeah.
Italian
I think it
actress.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
So there's like they
just dub everybody.
Dub everybody. Yeah.
Wow. That still blows my mind. I can't believe that.
I don't know what they're saying to me. My
I
name's
can't
Bond.
imagine. I can't
James
imagine
Bond.
doing a film and not understanding the person across from me.
Well, look at Clint Eastwood when he made all those spaghetti
All the
westerns.
spaghetti westerns and
Yeah.
stuff. Still, but man. Well, props to Sean Connery, man.
Yeah, the new respect for Sean Connery, what he went through.
Yeah, no wonder he did like green screen. He's
Yeah.
like, Jesus, it's like
Yeah.
working with all those foreign actors.
Yeah.
I can't understand what's going on around me.
And this is also the first movie where Sean Connery starts wearing a toupee.
Oh,
seriously?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, all those underwater shots, he had
Yeah.
the wetsuit on, so you
Uh-huh.
couldn't tell. But seriously, a toupee, huh?
If you go back and look, you can
Wow.
kind of see it. You know that, his hair is a little bit more.
Now, see, that's where 4K does not do you any favors.
Yeah. This
4K
is
restoration, you can even see the toupee on his head.
this
Oh,
is
no.
when he started wearing the toupee.
Wow. Oh,
As
okay
Bond.
then.
You know.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room about the history of Thunderball.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
because the co-writers try to sue.
Kevin McClory and Jack Whittingham, I
Yeah,
believe. It's because in 1959, Ian Fleming, McClory, and Whittingham, I believe, they all came up with the idea to do Thunderball, to do a Bond movie, because a Bond movie hadn't been made.
right.
Okay, but when Ian Fleming wrote the book, they realized that the screenplay that they had worked on, Ian Fleming just took it from the screenplay and didn't give them credit for it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he kind of stole the everything that was in the screenplay and put it into the book form, and they didn't get any rights to it. So they ended up ended up suing him eventually, and Ian Fleming got the rights to the books, but they also got rights to the character or the Spectre because there's still debate whether who created Spectre, if it was
Right.
Ian Fleming or these two guys. It probably was a combination of all three. If you
Yeah, you're like, hey, we should have some big overarching bad guy.
I guess it
or
was Jack
organization.
Whittingham was the other guy. Yeah, I think it was Whittingham but they also had some other
Yeah.
guys that were on the screen.
Also,
yeah, it's Whittingham.
Also, what's cool about that settlement is they had the power to make their own Thunderball movie if they so wished.
They had to wait 10 years.
But they had to wait 10
10 years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll be darned.
Yeah. And Ian Fleming had already, you were right about the Casino Royale thing. I thought that was just a comedy, but it was actually based loosely,
On James Bond.
Yeah, so because Ian Fleming sold the rights to CBS, and they did the TV thing first
TV
with
movie.
Barry Nelson playing Bond, and he's the first Bond. But then later on, they made the Casino Royale, but it was more of a comedy. I mean, and guess who was in that also? Ursula Andress was in it.
Oh, she
yeah,
was?
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Huh.
I haven't seen that in years. It's been a long time
Yeah.
since I've seen
I
it.
don't think I've even seen it.
Yeah, I think it was like 1967 that it came out. So right around the.
Well, because I knew it wasn't going to be too serious a movie with Woody Allen being in it. So.
Well, and he's Bond. He's Bond. And so is David Niven and Peter Sellers. They're all James Bond.
Oh,
they're trying. I think they're trying to find out who the real James Bond is, and stuff.
Nice.
And it's pretty funny. I mean,
sounds more like a Pink Panther than a.
Oh, that's
a Bond.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a good analogy because that's exactly what it reminds you of. It's the Pink Panther stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, but we'll have to do that one too. And
cool. Do they have the old TV movie like on YouTube?
That I don't know. That is something that you need to look up and kind of look at that.
That would be kind of curious.
Yeah, maybe do a bonus thing on that or something.
Cool.
But yeah, so
so they had to wait 10 years to do their own version of Thunderball, which turned into Never Say Never again. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll get into that later on because there's some competing things there. Because
that story is
because Octopussy came out the same year.
Yeah.
So there was the Bond.
Double Bond bill.
Yeah, there's a great story.
Did they actually go up against each other in the box office at the same time?
They were like 3 months apart.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll have to research that when we get to it.
Yeah, it's a crazy. And Thunderball is. I guess it's because of all the controversy. There is a lot of controversy over this, with the fighting between Ian Fleming. Oh, one thing, gosh darn it, I forgot to tell you during Goldfinger, is that Ian Fleming never got to see Goldfinger because he died right before the premiere and stuff. So he never got to see he never got to see James Bond really take off and become the great.
I'll be darned.
Because he had a heart attack. Well, when they had the lawsuit, he had a heart attack during the lawsuit, and then later on, and he also smoked like 60 cigarette packs. 60
because he was in World War II. Of course he did.
About 60 cigarettes a day.
Yeah, they said
probably non-filter.
Yeah. What is that?
Hey, look, my dad died at 48. He smoked about 60 cigarettes a day.
So that's a lot.
Did they say like 3 packs a day or something?
Yeah, that's because there's 20 in a pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That'll get you.
But anyway.
So yeah, even though Thunderball, a lot of the action's mainly underwater. Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, the director, his name is Terrence Young, was a big underwater scuba diver, and he wanted to do an action sequence underwater.
Oh,
so that's
did it.
That's one of the things.
He
Yeah,
really did it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know how they have the Largo has the sharks in the pool.
It's so cool.
Well, apparently, Sean Connery scared of sharks, like most people probably are.
Because you see them.
So they put this like plexiglass underwater, right? Well, they ran out. They couldn't do it all the way to the end, so they just left a little gap over here, and then thinking that when they let the shark out, he wouldn't figure that out. Well, they let the shark, and the shark right to the right to where the gap is.
You see it in the movie.
Well, yeah, if you see it in the movie, you see Bond jumping out of there, and that shark is like right up
coming
on
right
him.
up behind him. Yeah.
I saw that too. They said they've never seen Sean Connery move so fast to get out of that pool as they did. Yeah, because that sucker was like right up on
Making
him
a
when he got.
beeline. I noticed that
I
too.
couldn't
I
believe that
noticed that too.
when I saw it. I'm like, holy crap,
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
he
man!
has.
hats off to you.
Well,
Sir Copper.
they ran out and left a gap in there.
That is hilarious.
And Connery said, "And it never happened again. I tell you
Yeah,
that."
the sharks were great.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, I loved it. I mean,
they'd have been better if they had like freaking laser beams.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
Well,
other
that's
than
what's
that,
so cool about these James Bond movies as they start progressing and stuff is that they always have these like sharks or piranhas or some kind of
so sort
cool,
of outlandish
some kind
death
of
thing.
that
You
where
know,
they get pissed off at somebody, they'll push a button, you know.
oh, like Goldfinger and his
Yeah.
laser.
Yeah.
going right up the
Well, we
middle
forgot
of
to talk about
James
that. I
Bond.
mean, that was
Yeah,
a classic thing too, but
Sorry about that.
and the
yeah.
sharks and. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. When they're fighting underwater and they close the cover on the pool,
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh crap, that's gonna be bad because even though James Bond like stabs the one guy, now this guy's bleeding
Yeah,
out. All the
bleeding all up.
sharks are coming in. They close the top. I'm like, how's he getting out of this? Oh, I forgot he had that rebreather
Uh,
thing, and he just pops that in his mouth, and he's able
well,
to
and
wait
remember
for the sharks to go through mostly,
when
and then
that
he
thing
gets out on
opened
the other
up and
side.
the shark came out of the corridor thing or whatever it was under there? That
Yeah,
was spooky, man. I was like, ugh.
It
You know.
looked
here come the
like
sharks.
he was that there was no plexiglass there. I
Yeah.
mean, it looked like he really was.
And I think later on in what did they say? I think they were trying to use bull sharks, but bull sharks are very aggressive,
Oh, bull
right?
sharks are mean.
And so they were trying to get tiger sharks because they were, which is a man eater, but they had a like something hooked onto their fins, so if they got too close, they would jerk the shark.
Oh god.
Oh,
Yeah, you can
well,
tell they're tiger sharks in
yeah,
there.
yeah. And I
Yeah,
think that's
bull.
more when they're in the. And what Shane told me before the podcast was that fighting sequence they do at the end is actually filmed in the ocean. That's not in a pool or anywhere. That's actually they filmed it in the ocean.
Yeah, they filmed in the ocean. They had some really interesting scenes too because they're fighting around, and they kept getting shots of the wildlife in the area. So you see like this lobster, and this lobster's like, dude, what the hell, And then it has like a
It's
moray
Bond.
eel, and then there's like an octopus crawling on one of the guys that had been speared.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because it's like they were in this environment, and you can tell they must have spent days and days and
Oh
days
yeah.
filming that.
It probably took weeks to film that thing.
So they had all these wonderful opportunities to actually interact with the wildlife out in the
Because
ocean
that one
and get
girl
those
is
shots. So
like hot riding behind a big sea turtle, right?
oh yeah, and all I
Yeah.
can think of is like that's like totally illegal these days. You can't touch a sea turtle. And they're out there just hanging on to this sea
Yeah.
turtle, and they actually shoot one of the sharks with a spear gun
Yeah.
in the film.
Yeah.
You see it get hit. One bounces off, but the other one it sticks it. You actually see the shark trailing some blood and stuff, but they actually shoot one of the sharks, which is pretty wild. Nowadays
Well,
you,
because
you
see,
couldn't do that.
I thought that was like a special effect, but they must have had like shark steak that night during dinner.
Well, and I tell you what, that Domino, she was an attractive woman. The one that
Yeah,
played Domino, and she died a year before Connery.
Oh,
Yeah, so
wow.
he's but she was only 78. But man, she was. I liked the way her look and everything. I thought she
I don't
was.
know. I like the
Wait,
look
was
of that
her voice
Italian
You like
gal,
the redhead?
the redhead, but
it was
Yeah.
their voices?
it's a redhead too. So
Yeah, the Domino's was the yeah
that is so wild.
yeah yeah yeah
Yeah, so you get like double the Bond girls in this film. It's pretty
yeah
nice.
yeah. There's like
Yeah.
the three of them that are just like you're like damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was interesting in parts.
It was good. It was big stakes. One of the things I liked was the dichotomy that they set up between MI6 and Spectre. So you've got like the different countries, so the British have the 00 agents, but then you have Spectre with number 1, number 2, number 3, number 6, they
Right.
like that.
It's like
But then
they're
it's the double O's.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
9 of them, 001,
Yeah.
002, 007,
Well, they tripled the budget for Thunderball. because Goldfinger was three. The first one was what was it?
They
A
spend it all
million.
on
The
wetsuits
second
and
one was like 2
submarines.
million. Goldfinger was 3, and when they got to Thunderball, they made it 9 million. So they had a lot bigger budget to work with.
And you could tell also. I mean, just by the sets and then again, like you said, they actually filmed underwater. My God.
Yeah, in the ocean. I mean, how crazy is that? I mean, I wouldn't, you know,
So okay,
did a Steven Spielberg.
yeah, little Stevie. That there's a scene where he gets strapped onto a machine. And
Oh yeah, the rack.
what
Right.
what does that do?
It was the thing to help you stretch.
Okay.
Help you stretch. But then that guy comes in and he turns it on full, and he's like,
dude, Sean
straight.
Connery's scream was
Yeah,
like, oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, and he ends up he passes out, and then the girl, oh my God, Mr. Bond,
Yeah.
And what's the first thing that he does? He's so hurt and stuff. He takes her into the steam room, like, yeah, come on in, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel very loosened up.
Yeah.
After almost dying.
I'm thinking to myself, man, he just got racked the hell out of
Yeah.
on this thing. And what is he? He's still taking a girl
Yeah.
into the steam room. I was like, holy crap.
That's that whole speeding up the film thing, which
Yeah.
I just hate that.
Yeah, they did do that.
They do that
looks
a
good,
lot.
but
And
it's okay.
This movie,
what else are you gonna do?
won an Oscar for best visual effects.
Oh, did it really?
It did.
Which has got to be for I was talking to Scott. It sure as hell isn't for the like speeding up of film, but the fact that when they steal the aircraft, and then the guy has to kind of belly land it in the ocean, and then
Yeah.
it sinks to the bottom, and then they got to go and retrieve everything. I mean, the submarines and the little underwater propulsion devices, you can tell they spent a lot of that budget underwater. Underwater cameras at the time were
Yeah.
rare, heavy. They're still using film, so
Yeah.
you've got to have all that film sealed, and you can't have
Waterproof.
all the waterproofing involved in
yeah.
that. I mean, they spent a ton of money on those underwater shots. Not to mention the fact that it's just salt water, which just eats away at your metal.
Yeah.
Unless you got things that are made out of nickel or something along those lines, they're just terrible. So I mean, the technical side of that had to be insane.
And then just think of it as an actor. You're down in the water and you're trying to act all this stuff out underwater. I mean, acting is not easy as it is, but yet now you're underwater trying to do all these fight scenes, and
Well, we were sitting there going, there's at one point when Bond is fighting the bad guy underwater, and he gets his mask ripped off, right? But he's got the rebreather, so he's not relying on the mask to breathe. But he stops, turns around, and grabs a mask off of a dead body to put on. And I'm sitting there going, well, what's the point of that? Just what do you even need a mask for at that point? And then I realized, oh, well, that's so that the stunt double can
breathe.
You could have a stunt double and not see that it's not Sean
because
Connery,
you're going to have salt water in the mask, even if you
even if you put it on, it's still got water in there. So I don't know, it was funny. There are little things like that I think it just comes from my wife. I think I'd start noticing weird things in film.
Yeah, you're starting to get a little freaky.
Yeah.
I mean, next thing you know, you're going to go crazy on us. What you.
Well, but I will say this though: $100 million is the ransom for 2 nuclear bombs. Which is
$1 million.
$1 million, and it's just like, oh, that's not.
Well, this is 1960. There isn't.
You could throw me a bone.
Yeah.
We make more than that in our legitimate businesses.
Cool when you the guy. Oh, what's the dude with the cat? Is it I can't think. Blowfield.
Yeah.
When you don't see him, but he's still petting that damn white cat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's petting, and he's talking, and then he pushes the button on the one dude because they've been stealing or something.
Fries him, drops him down, comes back up.
I love that.
Chairs all covered.
Well, that
in
one
ash.
guy thought it was him.
Yeah.
And then
he was just like, ooh.
He's like, oops.
Yeah, and the other guy was looking all smug, and I'm like, oh, smug guy dying.
Yeah.
He's probably framed the other guy and he's figured it out.
Exactly. Yeah. I love those, man. It's just great.
They are great. They're fun. They're fantastical. It's part of that over the top spy kind of thing that just
Yeah.
really captures the imagination. It's not totally grounded in realism, but it's just realistic enough that it feels like it could happen. And
Well,
I think that's the part that makes some of those really early James Bond films good because you don't have to have that suspension of disbelief so much.
hmm
Some of the crazier ones later on, you're just like, really,
well, and
really,
this is the one where he's got the jetpack. You know
yeah, yeah.
the jetpack
They still
on it.
haven't perfected them yet.
Right. Right. And what was funny, years later, Connery comes on David Letterman. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but he goes, "Hey, here he is making his debut on tonight or the Late Show is Sean Connery. Come on in, Sean." And he comes on that thing with a jetpack, Connery, and he's got it, and everybody goes nuts in the audience, man. I mean, and he's got the jetpack, and he gets them. They come and help him off it, and Letterman's laughing. He said, "Wow, what an entrance! What an entrance!" You know, and they were talking about it. It was great. I mean, it was a great David Letterman. So if you
Yeah.
get a chance to Google that, it's funny.
That's
No,
awesome.
and actually that was part of the introductory um, action scene. That's kind of
Yeah,
like that
yeah,
first action scene of the movie when he takes off in that jetpack and everyone's like,
yeah,
"Whoa!" Just mind blowing at the
yeah.
time. So, yeah,
And
that's cool.
that's what makes Bond movies great. These little gadgets and the different things that he does. You know, even when they do get a little over the top, it's still fun. You know,
Yeah.
it just well, it's a fantasy. It's fantasy. You
Yeah,
know.
Hmm.
definitely. Was I noticed that another nod to the Austin Power movies is when Largo was like, open bay number one, opening bay number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually,
Turn the lights on below. Turning on the lights below.
Bring out the cloud.
one of the things that actually cracked me up, and I don't know why I noticed it this time around, but as they're unloading the nuclear bombs from the aircraft,
Mhm.
um, it literally printed on the side of the bomb. It says, "Handle like you would eggs." On the side of the nuclear bomb, it actually says, "Handle as if
Is that something
these
that's
were
based
eggs."
in fact or
I
something?
have no
Because
idea.
why would they put that in
But
there?
Maybe back
it's like
then.
military stenciled onto the side of this bomb. And I'm
Uh,
just like, of all the things to put on a nuclear bomb,
somebody's got
handle
a
it
sense
like
of
you would
humor.
eggs. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
somebody's
like
got a sense of humor. Yeah,
probably like a ton. How do you carry a ton of eggs for God's sake? Yeah, I just
yeah.
like, but it was just the weirdest thing. I'm like, what? I
Yeah.
don't know why I noticed that. But I will say something and it's kind of interesting. It had to do with color, um, because Scott has the DVD
hmm
set, and we were kind of watching the end of the film, and when James Bond goes back into the water for the big fight at the end,
Mm.
and he gets dropped in on the helicopter, and he's got like a little kind of rotor propulsion thing to get him through the water. In Scott's on the DVD, it's green. There's like this green dye that is shot out of the back of it. In my Blu-ray, it's yellow,
Oh,
like a very distinct yellow. And so I'm just sitting here going, that is really interesting because now it makes me wonder, between the DVD and the Blu-ray, there's such a distinct difference in the color of that. It makes me wonder what the color grading changes are between the DVD, the Blu-ray. Is the Blu-ray closer to the original film or not? Kind of makes me want to see what the 4K is just to see because usually they kind of go back to the original film print and use those color matchings and things like that. So it's really interesting that the color difference between the DVD and the Blu-ray, especially in the underwater scenes,
that's amazing. I know.
was
Yeah.
was really wild because it was a little bit murkier in the DVD. The water looked a little murkier, but at the same time, some of the colors were just a little different as well. So really interesting. Just from a technical side, I'm really curious to kind of go back and see, what those
I'll
differences
have to
are.
look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we usually don't talk about the differences in the film quality, when it comes to some of these things, but the presentations, they change. Um, going from film to early DVD releases and then Blu-rays when they were trying to clean things up and balance the colors, and then some of the 4Ks which try to go back to some of the original imagery. It's that original vision of the director, and it really kind of makes you wonder what some of those cinematographers were up to. But
one thing we haven't talked about.
the shitty music.
See, I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew he was good. No, the music was great.
Or
it was great.
The
introduction with Tom Jones.
The Tom Jones was good. The fight scene underwater was just
some of that was a little bit.
It was just like 6 notes repeated, and I'm just like, ugh,
I don't know
you're
why
killing
you
me.
have
It's
such a
not
problem
even
with
Jaws.
music in these movies. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, I know it's the time period. I know it's the synthesizer that's in use in a lot of the films of the day. But I just the whole fight scene, I'm just like, man, if this had like a really good score to it, like a modern orchestra or orchestral type score, I think
modern
you could get.
Orchestra. You can't go back and do modern orchestra.
No, you could go back through there and
Well, you don't want to do that. Then you're.
No, I'm not saying you want to. I'm just saying
you're disrespecting the movie.
You could have really made, because the fight scene underwater, because it is so long. It's long because it's impressive as hell, especially for the time period. The problem is when you have music that doesn't change and it's repetitive, it takes away and it makes it feel like the scene is longer. Well, there's a lot of things that they could have done.
They want you to feel that.
They want you to feel bored and drawn along.
No, they just want you to feel exhausted. I mean, they're fighting for their lives underwater. They got.
Yeah, there's a difference between being exhausted and getting a headache. But no, but it's to me, it's like sometimes I wish there was a less time period score and more of an orchestral score when it comes to some of the action scenes. I just think they could have been better. Because in those underwater fight scenes, they're quiet because they're underwater. And later on, you can actually hear them. They put in the little, like as people are getting shot, they'll do like a little, kind of thing. But it's like everything's quiet underwater. And so because of that lack of sound, I think you needed a richer score to really bring the action out. I think at the time, the action was exciting enough on its own. But from a modern perspective, from a modern perspective, I get to be critical. But yeah, I just wish that there was a little more thought as to the music, because now like there's whole movies that the score is almost as important and carries as much weight as the film.
But you can't compare it to now to then. I mean,
yes, I can.
No, you can't, because
it's really easy to do.
It's a different thing. That's what. It's a wholly different.
It's a different thing, but it's like, how much better would that scene have been if there was?
So you would be for going back and redoing that?
No, I think it would have made it better. I'm not for going back and changing the original, because going back and changing the original intent of the artist is never a good thing. And by artists, I mean directors, actors, cinematographers, all of that. Don't like jacking with anybody's thing, because it is a window of that time period. I just think that
even Jar Jar Binks.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
I got him there. Didn't right in the
yeah.
Jar Jar Binks was on.
There's some things. Yeah. When Jar Jar Binks comes out of the
that's modern.
Yeah. When Jar Jar Binks comes out of the water in that bikini in Thunderball, in Doctor.
And he was like,
Lisa, my headlights are on.
Yeah, so some of that is just bad decision making there. But no,
Why,
but I mean,
hello there.
Yeah. So I was.
He would be the good James Bond, though.
Jar Jar Blonde. God. Yes. All right. Some things need to be burned, and yeah. I just think it. Yeah. So for me, I love the scene. I love technically, it's just so impressive, that underwater fight scene. It is amazing what they did. It's just that I'm just like sitting there going, man, how dramatic could that have been? How really epic could it have been with really strong score? It's I can't say it's a missed opportunity, because it didn't exist at the time. That people didn't approach things that way. But yeah, I think it would have been better. I think it would have aged better because the Bond films are very dated,
Yes, they are.
but they're also a product of their time.
But they
So
hold.
they
I
have to
think they
be,
hold up,
you know.
though. I mean,
Well,
but I don't know about how
the,
some
the
young kids would feel about
yeah,
it.
but but the movies and the soundtracks and the scores they change as you go along.
Right.
As film changes, it changes along with it. So you get the better scores the further you get into the series. So
Plus, it gives you a look into that time period, like what kind of cars people drove and
Oh,
oh yeah,
that's
yeah. When you see all those like cars from the 50s
dude.
and early 60s, I'm just like, wow, that's a cool car. But
Yeah.
you're like, oh well, they're all that way.
Yeah.
also, this is the first movie where Sean Connery does the iconic at the beginning when he's walking and jumps and shoots. This is the first time Sean
Oh,
Connery does that.
the twist and shoot.
That was all before it was a stuntman in all the three previous movies. It
Hey,
wasn't Connery.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
all
You know,
right.
I also think that these James Bond movies were so popular that they spun off kind of knockoffs like Our Man Flint with
Yeah.
James Coburn,
Yeah,
Matt
yeah,
Helm with Dean Martin. So in the 60s, everybody got into this because these were so popular, made so much money, they got into these spy type
yeah.
novels,
Genres. Yeah.
genres. Yeah, that's good. And so
It's
that's
true.
the
Yeah.
60s. It was cool. And I like the Dean Martin ones and the James Cover. They're fun. They're just
Well,
fun
they're fun,
movies.
but yeah, but
Yeah.
they don't have the lasting power the Bond is.
No, they
Not
never
at all.
lasted like Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just something about that character that Ian Fleming wrote. It
Hmm.
just resonated with people.
So what's the next film?
Oh shoot!
What comes after Thunderball? I'm trying to remember.
It should be You Only Live Twice.
Oh, there
And
you
then
go.
then I think it's Her
Diamonds are.
Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah,
Oh,
excellent.
I believe.
Okay, yeah. Well, there
James.
you go. Something to look forward to there.
Yeah.
So let me see here.
You
Keep
got to
talking.
double
Keep
check it.
talking.
Yeah,
So
fill the time. Fill
you
the
didn't
time.
like the Tom Jones Thunderball
No,
song?
no, no. I didn't dog on Tom Jones because I actually didn't mind it.
I think it's a beautiful song
Yeah.
just by itself. Because I mean, you think he's gonna.
Ooh, I'm wrong here.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
I've never heard you admit that you were wrong.
This can't be
this is the
right.
first
Yeah,
spitball.
this can't be right.
Let's see. In Thunderball.
They got this is release order. I'm sorry. This is wrong.
I think
Go
we
ahead.
got to do
There you go.
Diamonds Are Forever, right? Or is that Connery? Diamonds Are.
I'm not sure. And
Yeah,
honestly,
Diamonds Are Forever is Connery.
it's one of the things that I'm really kind of enjoying about going through and doing a whole season of just James Bond is the fact that I've kind of hit a lot of these movies hit and miss. I don't think I've ever watched them in order.
Yeah.
So I've always seen Bond films out of sequence and just with oh, here's a Bond film. Oh, here's a Bond film. And you don't always, when you're going backwards and just seeing things on television or you're catching it as you rent a movie back in the 80s and then now when you got physical media and everything else you visit the ones that you know but you don't go through and you don't do the straight line movie to movie to movie and I think that's one of the really cool things that I'm enjoying about this
I
is
was
the
right.
fact that we can
It's Diamonds.
see them all in order.
It's You Only Live Twice, and then Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Excellent. Okay.
So
Well, there you go. Gives us something to look forward to there. But yeah, let us know. What's your favorite thing with Thunderball? Do you agree with me that the synthesized music just makes the scene drag?
what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, I know, but
I
yeah,
mean,
but I'm curious, because I just think that this movie, I think with the right score, could have been epic
Wow.
wow.
instead of
I-
just damn good.
Yeah.
Well, anybody that bitches about Goldfinger, the opening song to Goldfinger, I don't know. I question that man.
Ugh.
Well, he's got a love. Well, he's got a love for what was it, the Secret Majesties?
Her Majesty's
Because
Secret
that
Service.
doesn't have a theme song. It just has a
Mhm.
score for the.
Hey, Live and Let Die is one of the best opening
No, don't go back on
songs.
that.
So, but anyway, but yeah,
Alright.
I think that does us for today.
James Bond will return,
Yeah.
There you go.
and Diamonds Are Forever. Or
You
no, I'm sorry, You Only Live Twice.
only live twice.
You
There you
only live twice.
So So if you like this episode, please like and subscribe and
There you go.
the channel. And if you have any comments,
Please,
send it to spitball7@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you.
yeah, share it with your friends and family.
Yeah, and we'll catch you next week. I'm Shane.
I'm Scott.
David,
All
Thank
right.
you, guys.
Bye.
love you.
Is to know.
Friend of yours, no doubt. Come in.
007, danger sign of the world's most famous gentleman agent with a license to kill and license to thrill. 007, guarantee sign of prompt delivery, night and day service. Ravishing redheads, bronze brunettes, honey blondes. The Bond women 007 style.